Hello and welcome back to the vlogs. It is Monday afternoon. I'm checking in on a Monday. I work is taking a lot of my mind today, so I'm a little bit scatterbrained. But I did do some reading already. I do plan on doing a little bit more reading tonight, hopefully. But I did read 40 or 50 pages so far, and I am loving this. Our team is now together again, and they are on the way, or like they just landed on a planet that has an architect right next to them. Oh, it's a new vlog. I'm reading Eyes of the Void by Adrian Tchaikovsky, which is the second part in the series, and it's a story about these architects that rearrange planets, and our group is trying to stop them. And the architects have come back. And so yeah, our group is now at this planet where there is an architect, but the architect is not attacking because the planet has these runes on them that always make the architects hesitate. And so our group is going there to kind of find out if maybe they can use it to their advantage against the architects. The guys that are against our group are also there. So there are a lot of like problems going to be there, obviously. And yeah, our group has a lot of struggles, I would say. I think one thing that I didn't talk about last book, but that I think is really interesting with these books is that two of our characters of the group are like war veterans. They lived through the first war with the architects and obviously have seen a lot of the stuff that is happening now. They already have seen that, and it's like a cool aspect that we always have the contrast between the people who don't know all of the details and then the people who already lived through it. So that gives like a really good contrast, because the people who already lived through it are really jaded with the new situation, and then obviously the rest of them do know the problems, but they aren't as jaded. So that is really interesting, and I really enjoy that. But yeah, I am having a really good time with this book, and I'm excited to see what we are doing on the planet and what is coming out on the planet. So yeah, I plan on doing a little bit more tonight when it comes to reading. But yeah, right now I'm doing a little bit of gaming and a little bit of knitting. I am doing the first front panel for my cardigan. I can show you how it's supposed to be looking. So you can see it's like a V-shaped cardigan. But yeah, I'm working on the first front panel and it's looking so good. I love this cardigan so far. It works up incredibly nicely and it feels really nice. It's like a really heavy fabric, so it's gonna be like more of a winter or late fall cardigan, I'm gonna assume, but it feels so nice and it looks really, really good in my opinion. And yeah, I think the color suits me. So that is where I'm at right now. So that is what I'm working on for the afternoon now, because I just really want to knit on this cardigan. I'm so excited to do that. For my self-drafted pants, I had to take them apart again. I have a lot to figure out with those, so yeah, I had to take them apart again, and I will try my luck again tomorrow with casting them on and working on the waistband. But yeah, that is going to take a little bit. Okay, so let's talk reading. I made good progress with Eyes of the Void. I am at page 450 now. I have to say, I think the book is still really interesting. It's just a little bit slower than the first one. For my liking, we were a little bit too long on the first planet, on arc something. I forgot how the planet is called. There are a lot of names in here for places and stuff like that, and I'm really bad with that. But yeah, for my personal taste, that was a little bit too long of a section. And then we have a few interesting developments. We have somebody on our side now that was before on a different side. And we lost one man, like captured by the other people, and it's kind of like this like triangle problem where we have like our side, the other side, and then the third party that is a problem, but we also have like little other parties outside of that that are playing into that also. It's like a really connected net of parties that are not involved in everything. I don't want to go too much into detail because obviously it's the second part in the series, and I feel like that could be spoilers, especially for the first book. But yeah, we are now on our way to a different planet, one that is called Hell. It has something before that, but like hell is like obviously a really descriptive word. Seems to be radioactive. I'm really interested to see what is going on there. But yeah, I think the book is still really, really good. I just think the pacing feels like a little bit off on certain parts of the book, which, you know, happens. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. We are learning a lot about the architects and everything surrounding them and the past, the present, all of that. Like it's really interesting. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I just think that, yeah, I would have loved the pacing to be a little bit different. But yeah, the things we do learn about the architects are really interesting. So it is definitely a good book. I think right now, without having come to the ending of the book, I would say it's like at like a 4.5 currently, which, you know, is a really, really good rating for a second book in a series. So yeah, that is the reading so far. Other than that, I did a little bit of cleanup here in this room today, and I'm really tired. Work has gone a little bit better, but like it's still tiring. Which, you know, it's work, it happens. And yeah, I don't think I have really that much more to say. I did do a bit of knitting, but I'm currently in like a row, so I will show you tomorrow when I have like a better place where I can pause and show you. But yeah, I did get a little bit, like quite a bit further with my cardigan, and then my pants I had to restart again, which is normal, you know. I'm designing them myself, so obviously I have a lot of trial and error, so I don't have much there yet because it's a lot of like brain work and I'm not really up to that this week. So I'm doing little by little for that. And then I'm also started a crochet project because I really want to work through some of my acrylic and polyester yarn that I don't want to use for any like clothing or stuff like that. I'm probably working through that as like decoration, stuff like that. But I really want to get rid of it because I don't want to buy anything more of that. I don't like using acrylics and polyester because it's obviously not good for the environment, which, you know, learning by doing. So yeah, I'm starting to work through that. So I'm currently working up a crochet bag that can be used as a project bag, which I think is quite fitting. I will show you that once it looks like a little bit more than just a black circle that it's looking like right now. But yeah, that is so far where we're up to. My plan is to get through this tomorrow, so then I would have finished it by Thursday, which is a good pacing, I would say. And then I think after that I'm gonna probably start Joyland on Friday because I think I do need a shorter book. And if everything goes alright, I'm gonna do a little bit of book shopping on Saturday because I haven't been to a bookshop in like a really, really long time now. And I'm really, really hopeful that that will work out on Saturday. Like with my stomach, it's always a hit or miss if I can drive that far because sadly I don't have a bookshop in like my nearer vicinity. So we have to drive a little bit to get to one. So yeah, hopefully that will work out on Saturday. But obviously you will find out later on in the video. But yeah, so far so good. Okay, it is Thursdays now. Thursday, I mean, talking. I finished, I forgot the title again, the Adrian Tchaikovsky book. I don't have it upstairs with me right now, but I don't want to go down because I am incredibly sore from my workout yesterday. I started doing more like calisthenics workouts and man, they are kicking my butt and my legs. And I'm terribly sore in my legs. So I'm gonna stay upstairs and not get the book, which I hope is fine. But I finished it couple of hours ago, and I really liked it. I think the most annoying part of the book was the part where they were on the first planet, and it really dipped a little bit in like interest, and I felt like it was just too long of a period on that planet. The other planet was really interesting. We learned a lot. I really liked that. I think like the ending like really picked up again, which was really good. So I'm sticking with my rating of 4.5 stars, because I think like that middle part could really have been prevented, in my opinion. And I think Tchaikovsky can do better and has done better. So I don't think that there's really that much of an excuse for why he had that really, really boring part in there. And so yeah, I think I'm sticking with the 4.5, but I would really recommend the series. I'm really, really happy that I finally continued with it. So yeah, I will pick up the third part, hopefully not too far into the future. But I mean, if it takes me some time to pick it up, I will then just simply reread the other two again. I don't mind that. But yeah, I have a few other books I kind of want to pick up before that. So yeah, I don't know how much time will go in between that. Yeah, I have one book coming, which I will show you later. One of my 2 Illumicrate boxes is coming today. I just don't know if it's the horror or the sci-fi box. I think in my head the sci-fi box was the last one I got, so it should be the horror box, but I'm not entirely sure. And so depending on how interesting the book sounds, I will start with that one today, or I will start with Joyland. That just depends on what the book from the box is, but that is the plan so far, and I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm just really happy that I finally finished that Tchaikovsky book and that I'm actually really enjoying the series. I also wanted to give you a knitting update, because I am at a point where I can actually show you the knitting, though we might not be sitting ideally for that, but you know, this is how far I've come. So with my cardigan, which I connected the arms. So let me show you how the cardigan looks when I put it on. Okay, so that is how it's looking. There will be a button band here that will be knit in the end, so that is why it's pretty open. But yeah, I have a long way to go for the body still, but I really like how it's looking so far. It's gonna get a little bit looser once I wash it, so it is not snug, but like it is pretty like form-fitting. And then my favorite feature is this, which is like the shoulder seam, but it really like shapes the back of the cardigan, and I really like that detail, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I really do need to go and do some more knitting today, because I do want to get a little bit further if I can, but I also have like a Skype date with my friend, so I might not have the time that I want to have to do the knitting, but yeah. Also, yesterday I played like a really cute game. If you are into gaming and haven't played the little gator game yet, you really should if you like Zelda-like games. It's a really, really cute game. I got it in the Humble bundle, so I didn't like have to pay a lot for it. But like I finished it like 100% achievement and all in like 4 hours and 20 minutes, which I felt like was a really nice time to not have a game that is like 60, 80 hours long. But it was really, really nice, and it's a really, really cute game about growing up, and you're an alligator as the main character. It's a really cute game. So that is what I did yesterday evening and afternoon. I mainly played the little gator game. But yeah, that is all for today. I will see you later when I show you the book that I've gotten, and I will tell you what book I've chosen to continue reading this week. Okay, so I didn't get the time to check in with you yesterday, again, once my package was here, but I did get my book and I already started reading it, and I really like it so far. So let's talk about the book. It is so pretty. I really love it. It's called The Library at Hellebore by Cassandra Cole. And this is how it looks like with the dust jacket on. We have the spine, and then we have the halls, the library of Hellebore, and then in the front we have a lot of flesh and teeth and eyes, which is, you know, part of the story. If you take the dust jacket off, we have the hanging men that are in the school, and then on the back side we have the dark girls, angels, that are also part of the school, which are a little bit of like the decor of the school. And then we have really, really pretty painted edges, which I'm just a really, really big fan of. And we also have pretty interesting end pages and papers. You know, if you read the book, these make a lot of sense, but I love them. I absolutely love them. Yeah, this was the Evernight, so the horror book box from Illumicrate, and I am really enjoying this book so far. I would say you do need to like gore to enjoy this book, because this is gore from the beginning. I would say this is more of like a brutal horror book more than like a scary horror book. I think that is kind of like the point. But yeah, the story is we have our main character, which I forgot the name already. Please excuse me for that. Alessa Lee is our main character's name, and she gets kidnapped at night and brought to Hellebore, which is a school for gifted teenagers. A school, and gifted is pretty much magic came back into the world, and pretty much all of these kids have really, really dark and scary abilities. For example, Alyssa, our main character, can take you apart and kill you that way, and she can yeah, she can feel pretty much every part of your body, and she can control what she wants to do with it. And so yeah, she her stepdad wanted to assault her, and that was the first time she found out what she could do, and she tortured him for a couple of hours. Yeah, and she had to do that a couple of times in her life, and then yeah, she kind of got kidnapped. You can go to the school of your own free will, but you can also be brought there because other people kind of find you scary. And the story is about the fact that at the end of the school year, the faculty staff try to eat everyone, and our main character and a couple of the other teenagers there escape into the library, and the book is kind of talking about that. I think the best description I have for the book is crisp. It's like a really, really crisp story. The way the people talk, the way the story is written, it is really abrupt and crisp, and we have a lot of switching between times. Her coming to the school in the middle of the school year and the end of the school year is pretty much the 3 timelines we have so far, and they change pretty abruptly, and we have like sometimes only like a couple of pages, and then we switch to the next timeline, so it's like a little bit of crisp chaos. I am incredibly enjoying that. I think for me this has a really good pacing. I like the weirdness that comes with the abruptness of everything. It kind of works for me. I think it will not work for everyone. I know it doesn't work for everyone, because the book only has 3.5 stars on Goodreads, and you have pretty much the people who love it because they love the way the book is written, and then you have the people who really cannot deal with the way the book is written. So I think that is like a pretty like, yeah, it's a dividing book, I would say, but I personally really enjoy it. There's a lot of gore in here. A lot of people that have died already. We have one character, I hate him already, which is a good thing in this story. He is the son of Satan, or one of the sons of Satan. He's such an asshole, and our main character feels the same way. She has already cost him a hand, which he's grown back, but like it's kind of funny. And yeah, I really enjoy the read. So I am 70 pages in, and I think the book has 300 pages roughly. Yeah, so I am nearly a third of the way through. I think it's a really, really nice length, so I'm enjoying that one as well. But yeah, I am enjoying this. I think that was the perfect time to get this book. So yeah, I will read this over the next couple of days, and we'll see how it continues. Hopefully as gory as it started, hopefully in the same pacing. Obviously, I don't really know what's coming, so we will have to be surprised. But so far, I really enjoyed the beginning, and I think that is like a brilliant book for the month because I didn't have like a horror book in there. I mean, Joyland is one, but it's a Stephen King horror book. I feel like they always feel a little bit different. So I'm a big fan that that one was in the book box, and I am incredibly happy about it. So yeah, that is what I wanted to inform you about, and we'll see how it continues. Okay, it is Saturday now. It has been a day. I did my workout and then we did like a really big round with the dog and then we went shopping because I haven't been in a couple of months. And it was desperately needed, like a day date with my partner, if you want. So I haven't had the most time to read. But yeah, let's talk about the reading first and then about the 2 books I bought whilst we were out. So I continued with the library at Hellebore and I am now 120 pages in, so a little bit before halfway through. I am still sticking to my opinion, just like yesterday. I still really like it. I like the way it is written. I know that not all people will like it. I think it's interesting. There's a lot of gore still. Everything is like a little bit weird and freakish. But I like that. This thing is just, like, the book is just, it has a tone and it sticks to it, I would say. Straight from the beginning, there's really no surprises much, I would say. Because you go into the story and everything is like dark and gory and everybody is kind of a bad person because all of them have like detrimental abilities that have to do with killing other people, and so it's pretty much you get what you go into for. It's not like a super deep story, you know, but like it is entertaining and you get what you think you would get. So I really like it for that. So yeah, I will probably read a little bit more tonight and then we'll see. I will have to tell you about the rest of the book in next week's vlog. Because yeah, I will try to read a little bit more on Sunday, but I'm thinking I will probably finish it on Monday. Because obviously I have to edit the vlog still tomorrow and I have a little bit of like household duties I need to do and kind of get the apartment ready for the next week and relax a little bit. I do want to get a little bit more knitting in because I haven't done as much knitting this week as I wanted to, but probably catch up with that tomorrow and then I won't get as much reading done as I planned originally. So yeah, I went to a bookstore. They didn't have a great selection for English books because I didn't went to the bookstore I went to the last couple of times, which has like its own like really big English section. The bookstore I went to today had like a really, like pretty much like 3 of these shelves as like an English section. So that obviously wasn't as much, but I did pick one up that my partner pointed out to me and that sounded really interesting, and that is called Heads Will Roll by Josh Winning. It has the subtitle Will She Survive the Chop, and it is about a TV star who behaved kind of badly and was sent to a camp to like restore her reputation, and in that camp they kind of sit around, tell dark stories, and they tell the story about Knock Knock Nancy, who is a woman that was beheaded and her spirit is supposedly wandering around. Everybody is like, oh, nobody believes in that, and the next day somebody vanishes from camp and the things go from there, seemingly. But yeah, I really like that. It's a pretty classic story, you know, the campfire horror story trope and then things happening. But I really like the design of the cover, and so I thought, you know what, let's pick this up. I haven't heard anything about this book. I don't know the author. And yeah, I like to do that when I go into the physical bookstore because obviously they don't have the selection that you can get online. So I oftentimes don't find the books that I would love to read. I found a couple of ones where they had like the 3rd book in a series, but I needed the 2nd book still. So I obviously couldn't pick those up. But yeah, this sounded interesting. It is not too long, which is nice, and I think it will be really entertaining. And then the second book I picked up is actually the German copy of The Perfume by Patrick Süskind. I found a copy. I'm not in love with the cover, but it is the best one I found so far, and I could pick it up in a bookstore, which I was pretty happy about. So yeah, this is the story. The Perfume is a story about a serial killer who kills women and makes perfume out of their bodies. And yeah, it's a really interesting story. I watched the movie in school. It was part of my school curriculum, which I found to be really interesting. I think it was cool that we talked about that one, because obviously this is a German author, and it is a pretty like classic in terms of German books. And so yeah, I never knew that there was actually a book basis to the film, and so I have decided it is time that I need to read it. And yeah, the copies I could find online were pretty ugly. I feel like German classic books don't have the prettiest covers, because I don't think anybody ever really thinks that they appeal to younger people that aren't like, 50 up or something like that. Not that those people wouldn't want pretty books, but I feel like that is kind of the gist of it. That is how it's always been. But yeah, so we picked up this one. And yeah, it plays out in the 18th century in France. And it doesn't say how, yeah, he's called Grenouille. The Grenouille. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, the hero of the story, pretty much Grenouille, but yeah, I wouldn't say that he's a hero, but the book says he's the hero. But yeah, I love the story. It's a pretty bit cool story, so if you haven't read it yet or watched the movie, do that. The movie is pretty good, and I am hopeful that the book will be as well. But yeah, those were my two add-ons to my TBR, which I'm pretty happy with. I didn't go overboard, not that there was actually things to go overboard with, like they had like the popular book talk books and stuff like that, but I'm not after those books. They didn't even have a Stephen King, which I was really surprised about, that they didn't have an English Stephen King. They had a lot of German Stephen King, but I would have loved to pick up a new Stephen King. They had one new Adrian Tchaikovsky, but it was the third part in a series, which was pretty annoying. But yeah, so 2 add-ons. I am tempted, to be honest, after I finished this, to pick up one of these 2 and then go back to my TBR. To be honest, I'm stalling a little bit before the Brandon Sanderson books. I'm so tired at the moment. I'm really struggling with the bigger books, and I'm afraid that I will drag my feet through those, and that's not fair to the books. So I might just pick up a little bit of the smaller ones. But yeah, that is kind of it for the end of the week. I had like a really good looking around today. And yeah, I did want to give you footage, but there were so many parents with their children on their way, and I didn't want to film any kids, because obviously that's not okay. So I couldn't really get footage, because there were just a lot of people out there, because it is like 28 degrees today. It is so warm, and yeah, I hope that's fine. But yeah, thank you so much for going on this journey, this reading journey this week with me. I hope it was interesting. I hope your reading week went as well as mine, because mine went pretty well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I will see you in the next video.